Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mal and Val Show. I'm your host, Mal.
And I'm Val.
And this is our friend,
Shekinah.
So today we're just doing another episode of the Mal and Val Show. We're back. It's been forever. Technical difficulties and, life. But we're back, and we're super excited. We're going to try to be more consistent again. And we have our friend who is co-hosting with us. And we have some fun, interesting, lighthearted topic. Well, I guess it's not really lighthearted, but we will be talking about it. Some good topics. So yeah, let's just get into the show. First question is the question we ask every week. What is everyone obsessed with? Who wants to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So this week I have been obsessed with top 10 or 5 this videos on YouTube. So the random ones top 10 weirdest things we found in the Galapagos, or 5 unsolved mysteries with written clues. I don't know why. I've just been watching those, or more listening, because I'll be doing different stuff or work or for my businesses or podcasts, and I'll just have those playing, and I've been obsessing over them. Top 10, all right, next one, top 10, next one. That's how I know a bunch of random facts, because I just sit there and listen to those all the time. So yeah, that's what I've been obsessing over those this past honestly 2 weeks. And it's crazy because I am not a scary movie person. I hate scary movies. I get scared super easily. But I can listen to a top 5 murders done by serial killers in New Mexico and be like, oh my God, that's so interesting. What? He did what? Oh my God. I can sit there and watch hours. I do not know why. But, throwing a ghost, and I'm I can't do it. I'm staying up all night, but it's so interesting to me. The ones that are, I was this, and then the serial killer ones was the most interesting one was this lady, she killed someone, and in Japan, they have a statute of limitation on killing someone, and she got caught 3 months before, it's 15 years, so 3 months before she was supposed to be captured, and then she had gotten plastic surgery 4 times, so people wouldn't really recognize her. Is that not interesting?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Hispanic novella. There's one that's like that she does surgery on her face.
Yeah, well, that's so interesting to me. And then, okay, last one. It was top 10 mysterious things that happened in 2019. There was someone, I forgot the state, that was leaving a bowl of mashed potatoes on people's cars. And yeah, I know, that was my look too. And the police had no idea why. And at first everyone was oh, haha, this is a funny joke. But the thing was, what if it was poisonous? So they're okay, are they trying to poison people? And then the police were well, is this also a gang thing? So you see the mashed potatoes, you're in your room and you see the mashed potatoes, there's mashed potatoes in my car. So you go outside to take it off. I'm not trying to laugh, but it's a funny thought. You go outside to get the mashed potatoes off your car, and then someone comes and shoots you or something like that. That's what they were thinking. But they never figured it out. People were just mashed potatoes, and it wasn't just 1 or 2 people. It was tons of people in the same neighborhood, and then I think the town over, someone was doing it. It was just, that's so fascinating. Why would someone do that?
That sounds like human trafficking tricks.
Yes, that's what they were concerned about, because at first it was oh, this is a joke. Oh wait, what are you saying, Shekinah? What were you saying? Oh, your sound.
Wait.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. That was me.
Oh.
So, who wants to go next of what they've been obsessed with?
I'll go next if you want.
Okay.
So I've been obsessed with how since SpaceX with NASA and Tesla launched, I've always been fascinated with space. If I could go back to college, I would probably do engineering or something.
Really?
I would. I honestly would, because I've always been so it literally draw me to tears when I saw the video of the thing.
You're so smart. Wow.
And I've been watching I've watched that launch video at least like 10 times. And then these like live streams of the astronauts and like old videos of people just floating around in the rocket, and I'm obsessed with it. And Netflix also just launched Space Force on Netflix.
Oh
with
yeah.
Carell.
Is it
so
good?
It's so good. If you like The Office, it's different humor than The Office, but it's Steve Carell, so it's still really good.
Okay.
Nice.
I have to look at it. I have to add it to the list.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
I just got Disney Plus, so right, I treated myself to Disney Plus, and so I've been watching like all of my favorite like Disney movies, of course, and I feel like a lot of the Disney movies that I'm into are like some really underrated movies, like A Bug's Life. I love that Bug's Life so much, and like I've been rewatching it because of things that are going on currently, and I try to like dissect the characters a little bit more now that I'm an adult, and like I can fully analyze what's going on in the movie. So I think honestly, like Hopper's not that bad of a guy. No.
Unpopular opinion. Continue. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Did she freeze? Oh.
Guys, is it better now?
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's all fine.
So
live show.
Yeah. So it's already established that like Hopper and the grasshoppers and the ants, like the ants exchange food for protection. So like the ants are really small and they live by themselves on this island. So like Hopper's like, okay, like no problem. Like we can work out this deal. Like I'll give you guys protection, you give me food, blah blah blah. And presumably this whole thing has been working out for a long time. And then Flick decides to have an invention or whatever. He messes up the whole relationship by like accidentally losing all of the food. So like if Flick hadn't had messed up, like none of like there would be no problems. And like throughout the movie, Flick is just trying to like impress Princess Ada the whole time. Like it's not even about like the ants, you know what I mean? So that's just been interesting.
Okay. Interesting perspective.
I haven't seen that movie in like probably 15 years. So
oh, it's so good.
I remember it, but not that well. I knew there was ants involved.
Yeah, well, that's good. That you kind of got the gist of it.
Right. When you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Like,
what'd you say, Val?
What other underrated movie did you like?
Oh, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I don't know if that's super underrated, but like every time I bring that movie up, like nobody knows what I'm talking about.
So good.
Oh, that was one of my favorites.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. And it was kind of like adult-ish to be a kid.
Yeah. I couldn't watch it till like high school, I think. My parents were super strict. So we couldn't watch it till high school. And I remember watching them like, the way things were drawn and, y'all seen the movie. I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get what you're doing here, Mom. That makes sense. I get it. I'm not mad at you.
Right. Yeah, like, that is such a good movie. And, it's just because, like, I think I was a movie buff ever since I've been, like, a child. Like, I've seen a lot of movies that, like, you probably shouldn't see at, like, 8 years old, like The Gladiator with Russell Crowe and everything. Like,
probably not.
I'm a big appreciator of good movies. So Disney Plus has been really good in providing me a lot of content to kind of dive myself into again. So, great.
Well, that's good. Another underrated movie. I lost it. It was another underrated Disney. Oh, it's not Disney, but I feel like nobody talks about it. Swan Princess. I think that was like Like all 6 of them. No, not the Barbie one, but just the regular Swan Princess.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think I've heard of that. That might actually be an underrated movie.
Okay, so it's super underrated. Clearly, it's so good. It used to come on Cartoon Network, and it was like, Swan Princess. Yeah, look it up. You've probably seen it. There's like 6 of them, and they're like they're not. People don't talk about them. They deserve.
I watched this movie.
Yes, it deserves credit. I don't know why people don't talk about it. It's not like a Disney. I think it's like Disney adjacent, right? It's who?
I think it's just independent.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's why it doesn't get the credit it deserves. But
I remember I had not the DVD, the VHS.
Whoa. That was forever ago. For you young kids listening out there, VHS came before the DVD.
Right, we're really revealing our ages.
Right. I remember, what if it was a Nickelodeon show, the VHSs would be orange. I remember that.
Yeah. I had one for the Rugrats movie.
Yeah, I had like multiple Rugrats VHSs, and my favorite like Rugrats special to this day is the one where they have the special about Passover. Like that is such a good one.
I wasn't allowed to watch Rugrats.
Oh,
I know, girl. We could have a whole episode of what I wasn't allowed to watch. I wasn't allowed to watch Rugrats.
The Rugrats is one of my favorites, especially the one that they go to Paris.
Yeah,
I still cry with that movie because it has to do with like mom and dad, and it's so
cute.
Right. Oh gosh. And even the Rugrats, like the first movie that they had, where they all get lost on and honestly, like looking at that movie as an adult, I'm like, these people were so like irresponsible with these children. Like they could have died at any point in this journey. It's terrible.
You should watch it now.
Well, what is it on?
The Rugrats is just like the story of a bunch of babies.
No. I know what Rugrats is. Okay, I know what Rugrats is about, but what like station does it come on? Does it come on Nickelodeon still?
Cartoon Network?
Well, it used to come on Nickelodeon, but I bet Nickelodeon has some kind of like subscription service maybe that you can like, or it might be on Netflix.
Oh, okay. I'll look into it. There's a lot of shows that I want to watch that I couldn't watch before.
What other ones?
What'd you say? What other ones?
Yeah.
Okay. I really wanted to watch Hey Arnold.
That Hey Arnold was so good, man.
Yeah, and Doug. I remember we went to something and somebody was watching Doug, and I remember like because we were at someone's house, I sat and like watched it. I was like, I want to watch this. I want to watch this. Lizzie McGuire. I wasn't allowed to watch Lizzie McGuire. I know.
No. Lizzie McGuire was like my obsession.
Really?
Yeah. Like I said, like we could do a whole episode about what I wasn't allowed to watch, but I want to watch Lizzie McGuire. But the thing is, I loved Xenon, right? So I was trying to watch the first one, and I just could, like, I was like, they're children. They're 13. Like, I can't. She's 13. He's 13 years old. It was hard to watch. Like, so I don't know if I'm gonna feel that way about like Lizzie McGuire.
Right. Well, growing up, I wasn't super into the Disney Channel. Like, I would watch some things here and there, like The Proud Family.
Wasn't allowed to watch that.
Oh, well, The Proud Family was like mostly funny. Like, I really, it was pretty funny. And Kim Possible.
I could watch that.
But I used to be into Cartoon Network like heavier than like the other networks, because Cartoon Network used to have Toonami, which would show all the anime stuff at night. And then there was this show, Cold Lyoko. Cold Lyoko on Cartoon Network was so good. It was like one of the...
My brother used to watch that.
Yeah. It was like these kids, they go to school, and...
You're out again. I wonder why it keeps going out. Your sound is out.
Maybe he
Goes again. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know. Maybe it's my internet. I have no idea.
Because, like, you'll be talking and we can see you moving, but then the sound will be out and it's like, wait, what?
Did you hear what I said beforehand?
All I heard was something about a school.
Oh, okay. So in Koblioko, these kids, they go to school. One of the kids has like a supercomputer that they're able to go in and out of like a digital world. And
oh, that's cool.
There's a meme where like all the kids were drawn with these like giant foreheads. It's a bit of a meme, but like it was a good show. It was like a pretty long running show too. I think it had a couple of seasons, so like I was very into that.
So my brother and I would watch every channel. So we definitely did the Cartoon Network thing, Teen Titans, Justice League. That's how I became like into superhero stuff. And my brother would read comics, and then I'd read his stuff that when he was done. So like Teen Titans, Justice League, Totally Spies. That's not comics, but like I used to love Totally Spies. That was good. One I could not watch on Cartoon Network, Codename Kids Next Door, and I used to really, really want to watch it, but I could not watch it.
That was so. It's kind of like Teen Titans, though. That's weird, because like it's a bit like Teen Titans.
What about Eddie? I loved Eddie.
Couldn't watch that.
And Powerpuff
That's one of my.
Couldn't watch that. Could not watch that.
What about Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Couldn't watch that.
Well, that one.
I mean, all right.
it kind of traumatized me, like in some of this. So I get it, but.
And now you're frozen.
Oh.
Shekinah is frozen. Okay.
Oh no! I keep messing up the stream. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We can blame the virus.
Right. But yeah. So everybody talks about the Return to Slab episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog. That wasn't the one that did it for me. The one that did it for me was the very last episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog, like the last episode of the series, where like this teacher comes over to Courage's house and like tries to teach him how to be perfect, and like she's like a really mean lady, and then Courage tries to go to sleep that night, and he has like a series of dreams that are like each one is scarier than the last dream. And the last one is like this like claymation like blue thing that like it's so weird. Like it moves really slowly, and it was like the scariest thing to me as a kid. I was like that's like ingrained into my head. Like I did.
Yeah. Watch. What I think happens is, so you know, my parents are super Christian, so it's like this organization that will like put out a list of stuff your kids shouldn't be watching, and I think they just took that by heart.
Okay. All right.
So there's a bunch of stuff I'm like, I don't like. Some stuff I get, like the Courage show. I probably wouldn't have done well with that. I'm trying to think of some things.
And probably not Rugrats, because I wasn't allowed to watch Rugrats until I was a certain age, because like Angelica was very mean. So my mom didn't want that entering my.
Did you say she was really mean? I've never seen Rugrats, but I knew that about her, because for a while I couldn't watch Arthur because DW was so sassy.
DW was.
Wait, are you talking?
No, I'm not talking. I was trying to listen because I'm like, oh no, there it goes again.
Oh, okay. But
Angelica was I had a doll of her.
Who?
And her doll.
Angelica? Oh, yeah, that's my dog. Yeah, he's downstairs. He's very loud, so I'm sorry.
What about like did they let you watch like Drake and Josh and Kenan and Kel and all those Nickelodeon shows?
So we could watch Drake and Josh like when I got to middle school.
Okay.
But not before then. Maybe even a little bit after middle school. Now that I'm thinking about it, it might have been high school. I remember what house we were in the first time I saw it, but I don't remember what grade I was in. So it might have been either middle or high school. Kenan and Kel, by the time that was off, I wasn't allowed. Like, yeah, like I couldn't watch it by the time it came off, I guess, because that was like what, early 2000s.
I grew up on those shows. I don't know what year, but I
Okay,
grew
well, I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Yeah, Drake and Josh I've seen because they showed reruns. I mean, they still show reruns.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen that. We couldn't watch Fairly Odd Parents at first either. But now
Fairly Odd Parents is so funny. Like,
yeah.
original episodes of Fairly Odd Parents are, like, episodes that, like, adults and kids would just, like, laugh at so much. And one of the most impactful, like, specials, oh, man. Did I do it? Did I freeze again? Hold on.
No. Yeah, you are, folks. Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah.
There's, like, a car outside my, like, window. That's so weird.
Yikes.
What are they doing? That's so strange. Excuse me, I'm in the middle of an episode. Someone go look at that car. Oh, never mind, it's gone. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. That was just, like, my window is, like, directly, like, looking into the street. So I'm just always like, who's there? And I get it from my grandma because she, like, if there was, like, suspicious stuff, she'd write down the license plates and stuff. I'm just like, okay. What's that? And then my brother is just I've told him, and he'll walk in because I live at home right now. So anyway, we were saying,
one of the most impactful specials that the Fairly Odd Parents had was when they did a crossover special with Jimmy Neutron.
Yes.
Jimmy Timmy Power Hour.
Yes.
Legendary, bro. Legendary.
So we could watch Jimmy Neutron. So when they did the Power Hour, we tried to get our parents to sit down and watch it with us so we could watch it. So they could see, like, Fairly Odd. I think it was the fairy stuff, magic. We could, like, show them, like, hey, Jimmy's okay with them. We should be okay with them. But that didn't fly. And then eventually we started to watch it, and, like, that and, like, SpongeBob, when I was allowed, the magic had passed. I just think it's stupid. Like, it's not, like, SpongeBob, I don't laugh. I'm just, like, people are like, doing all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh, yeah. Like, it's just
current episodes of SpongeBob are pretty cringe, but, like, but, like, the episodes from, like, the mid to late 90s are pretty funny. It's pretty cringe now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, because not all, like, a lot of the original cast has, like, died because they're very old. So, yeah. And,
isn't it the longest running cartoon?
I think so. And Nickelodeon's still trying to milk every ounce of that show out for, like, merchandising and everything. So
I liked it when it was on air, but I didn't think it was, like, that big a deal. Like, it was, it's SpongeBob. I preferred Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron. I didn't think SpongeBob was that.
Our generation loves SpongeBob. Like, it's not just like, I like SpongeBob. It's, I love SpongeBob. How have you never seen SpongeBob? Like, same with Harry Potter. Our generation loves Harry Potter. That's another thing I wasn't allowed to watch.
I'm not that into Harry Potter, like, anyway. Like, I thought the books were boring. I thought the movies were boring. Like, I know, I'm sorry, Val.
As you can see, I get obsessed with movies.
Oh, look at you.
Look at you and your art.
And you just started watching Star Wars, right?
Like a month ago, I watched all of them in my laptop sitting on my Game of Thrones book collection. So, yes.
I love it. I've not painted a single thing since I've been home, by the way. I was painting so much when I was in Iowa, and when I came back home, I was like, oh, maybe I should buy an easel, and, like, I could paint outside. I haven't done a single artistic thing since I've been home.
You're not as stressed. You have more things to do now.
Yeah, like, there's more things grabbing my attention now than, like, trying to invent things to do in corn country.
Okay, ladies. Now to the next topic. Let me look at the docket. I think it's, yes. It is now time to discuss. Her name is Myka. Myka.
Myka.
Myka. I don't know if you guys have heard this story, but it was this lady. She and her husband have a YouTube channel, and they adopted a child from China, and the child was autistic and had a lot of I guess behavioral mental problems, and they did a video like a week ago saying that they rehomed him. And that really grind my gears. It grind Val's gears. It grind Shekinah's gears. Like, it is not okay to adopt a child, have that child live with you for 2 years. I thought it was 4, it's actually 2, but still. Have the child live with you for 2 years. Let a child that already has special needs uproot that child and give them to someone else. Not only that, make videos that you monetized and brand deals that you had because of this, and just give that child away like it was nothing. And like, you know, I've had one of my friends was like, well, you don't know how it is to take care of a special needs child. That's true. I can't even imagine. But if I adopted a child, that's my child. You're not going to rehome your own child. Like, that's just not, you don't do that. Like,
Right.
you're not going to, and when you adopt a child, like, that's your child. Like, that's another till death to us part moment. So they gave the child away, and then I saw today that they're looking for the police is looking for the child now because they're trying to figure out like where is this baby. My whole thing about that though, I kind of sort of think that's a little bit clickbaity, because I mean, do you think they would have done something to the child and then made this video and then brought attention to it? Like, what do you guys think about that?
Well, like the only thing that I've seen about this is like the stuff that I see on social media. But like, I mean, well, first of all, that's like disgusting that like you would knowingly adopt the child with, but like it's not like you guys were foster parents and you expected this child to like be rehomed in like a month. Like,
right.
That's not like you went there for the purpose of taking this child in and presumably raising this child forever. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like disgusting. And if the police, like, I don't, like, the police are involved because like the kid, like, he's missing, like, is like.
Val, do you know more about it? I can read what my friend commented on.
Well, what I know is that they can't locate the child because when they rehomed him, the baby didn't go directly to a family, to the structure. It has to go to a home or to the service again just to go back into the system pretty much before it goes to a family.
Oh.
And, I saw the video that she posted, and I've been watching other podcasts about it. And from what I understand, this is something that can happen with adoptions, but it only happens between like 1 to 10% of adoptions, which is nothing. And when they do that, they have to pretty much give the kid back to the agency, which thankfully this time was an agency in the US.
Yeah.
Then they have to go and find a family for the baby. So what I think they're trying to say is that the Huxley, which is his name, had to go through several foster homes to figure out what's the best fit for him. The mom said that she needed someone, or the ex-mom, Myka, said that she wanted someone with medical experience for the Huxley. Even though she was a nurse, she's a registered nurse.
I did not know that.
Wow.
Interesting.
And she was aware of, like, they're saying, like, oh, we weren't aware of the situation. And the doctors in China, when they were telling her about this baby, they were like, I know you want a kid with disabilities, but Huxley specifically has way more than you guys requested, because they requested easy disabilities, in other words. Like,
that already that makes me uncomfortable. Easy disability. What does that even mean? Anyway,
the doctors were like, this baby's more than you can account for. Like, Huxley is the kind of boy that probably would need to be with you all the time. And I mean, not just as a kid, but as an adult, you know, a forever kind of situation. You know, that happens, and they knew that, and the doctors warned them, like, this is more than you asked for. And the Myka said that it went one ear and it exited the other, and they continued with the adoption. So supposedly, according to her, the Huxley was adopted and has a new forever home. Which again is really stupid to say because those are the terms that you use with dogs.
Exactly.
I know, that's exactly what I've been thinking. Like,
right.
She rehoming, new forever home, and gotcha day. Gotcha day is what you use when you rescue a puppy.
Well, no, I've heard gotcha days for human adoptions though.
I've heard both.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know people did it for dogs. Now that's weird. Like now.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I've been listening to too many people, but
you're going there now.
At the same time, like, hopefully, what?
You were going in and out, but okay, you're good now. You were like freezing for a little bit. Yeah, you, Val.
Am I good?
Yeah. Yeah.
One day we will all be together and we can do this.
Right. Maybe one day we can all be in one room. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, supposedly the baby, according to Myka, is in a forever home with his new forever mom. But they can locate the mother or like the supposedly new family.
But they don't know where he is?
No, and that should be a record that should be available for the police.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, because, okay, so yeah, the wording is, turns out the police cannot locate the child and they are now under investigation. So I feel like, and they are now under investigation could be the clickbaity part, but that is really sketch that they can't find the mom. Because like you said, Val, it should be, oh, this is the agency you use. Huxley, okay, here he is. Do the wellness check. So I'm assuming they probably just, somebody turned them in to do a wellness check. So it should be easy, but I do think, I mean, I would hope they're not stupid enough to like have done something and then make a video about it. But apparently it seems like this has happened months ago. And they put the video out around this time because they thought people would be distracted. And people are, that's true, but we are not. We are on the case. But yeah.
Right. But I hope, bro, like I hope because like it's not like people haven't done things for like internet clout in the past. Like remember Daddy of 5? Remember that YouTube channel where like they were literally abusing their kids on camera, like just for like you don't remember that?
I don't know what you're talking about. That's terrible.
Oh, so like a couple of years ago, there was this big YouTube channel called Daddy of 5, and it was actually the family lived here in Maryland, like in like Frederick or something like that, and like so they had a family of like 5 kids, and they would try and do these like family style vlogs, but like in the vlogs, the kids would like beat each other up and stuff. And they would call it like a prank, like the kids are just playing pranks on each other, like they're joking, but like they would gaslight their like 6-year-old into like trying to make him believe that like he did something wrong. Like they would set something up where like there's like ink spilled on the floor, and they're like, Cody, what did you do? And they would always single out Cody, like all the time, like, Cody, look at this, what did you do? But like they were like verbally and like sometimes physically abusing this child like on camera. And it got so bad that their channel had to be taken down. CPS was involved and took like most of the kids. And those kids ended up going back to their like birth mom because the dad had like a wife. So like the kids were living with like their stepmom and their biological dad, so like the kids end up getting taken and getting sent back to their biological mom. So
that's crazy what people do just for clout like that. And to get, my thing is getting kids involved, like, you know, you want to do something stupid, then that's between you and God, but like getting kids involved is so, I just think that's so evil. I really hope he's okay too. Like I keep thinking in my head, they're not stupid. Like that, to have made a video to draw attention to yourself after doing something to the child will be the stupidest thing that would ever happen.
Right.
But it is very suspect. that they
Like,
cannot just type his name in and find where he is.
I hope to God nothing happened to that child. My goodness. Like, I hope that child is actually somewhere, even if the child is, like, in, like, a foster, like, holding facility or whatever. Like, I just hope nothing happens to that child. Like, that's terrible.
And I feel bad, too, for, like, their kids, because, I mean, how do you wake up your kids one day and say, actually, you know, your little brother that you love so much, he no longer lives with, like, how do you explain that to a child? Like, their brother is no longer there. Like, I know if I was a kid, I would have flipped the table if someone said my brother wasn't there. Now, I don't know, but, like, when we were little, like.
Well, I think they had, like, a weird relationship with the kids in Huxley. Like, they didn't mingle them as much as they made it seem. Like apparently the one that he was close to, they had a baby boy, right, pretty much about his age, like 2 months apart. And he was the one closest to Huxley. But apparently, like, the girls didn't get that well along with Huxley. Like, it was just for camera.
Oh, wow.
They would treat him very differently than they would do with their born kids. Like, Huxley would suck his thumb. And apparently she duct taped.
I heard about that.
And her daughter also sucks her thumb, and she never did anything like that to him. And there's a screenshot that she posted to, like, a Facebook group of, like, Chinese adoptions, like a regular Facebook group for questions. Mm-hmm. She posted a picture, a question saying, like, my kid won't stop staring at me when I eat. How can I stop it? Knowing he has autism, like, that's one of the first things, like, and even if the baby didn't have autism, it's a baby.
Right. Like,
he's gonna watch you cook. Let him do it. He's curious.
Yes.
You're his mom. He's probably amazed because you're his mom. But she's like, why is he keep staring at me? I'm just like,
bro.
Oh my God, did they not go through a class? Well, I don't know though, because I think it's also common sense. I want to say, like,
so they have natural born kids, right? So, like, they have kids of their own. So like, why? So then, why are you going out of your way to, like, adopt a special needs child if you have, like, children? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand, like, why they would adopt this child and treat him differently.
Yeah.
If they
I had to treat him differently.
Right.
As easy as that. Like, this, since they had Huxley, because they have been promoting his adoption since before he even came to America. They were talking about it because
she would try to raise money too.
Wow.
They raised money to support his adoption from China.
Wow.
And she got, like, a bunch of sponsorships because of this adoption. But she lost all her sponsors now because everyone's like, we don't relate to his family anymore. They completely cut ties off. So.
Yeah. And it's,
That's sad.
It's so sad. And, like, the other part that I think is just really sad is just the idea of, like, we treat humans so carelessly. Like,
right.
I think we have lost our, whatever it was that made us love everyone, that made us, like, care about everyone from womb to tomb. Like, I just feel like we just treat humans so carelessly now. Like, oh, this didn't work out. Like, same thing people do in marriages. And I think that's the other thing, too, that just, like, really bothers me. Like, I don't really love him anymore. Oh, well. Like, we don't want to go through or, like, grow. Like, I cannot imagine. I'm sure it was difficult. I don't know. I've never had a child with autism. I don't have any kids at all, but, like, I've never had a child with autism. So I can't imagine how difficult that would be. I'm sure that's incredible. Especially she had, like, like another 2-year-old or 4-year, like, she already had a lot of little kids. So I'm sure that is difficult.
Yeah.
You are making a commitment. If you bring a child from a whole nother country, if you said you were going to do this, you have to follow through with it. Not just, because you put all this time and effort, but, like, just because you're a human being and, like, and I think they said they were Christians, like, you have to think about the child, like, how, I can't even imagine, like, how confused he is, because he's over here calling these people mommy and daddy for so long, and then all of a sudden now it's like, actually no, and you're never going to see them again, and then you're never going to see your siblings again. And I mean, to treat a child differently, like, that's awful. But I will say it's good that we know, you know, that we know these things are going on, because also too, I saw, I was reading somewhere, like, the comments, and someone was like, a lady worked in the foster care system, and she said, you'd be surprised how many, like, it isn't like she said, it's like 1 to 10%, which isn't a lot, but it is a lot, because I did not expect that. To be honest, it never crossed my mind. Like, if you said the child's going to be yours and you're raising the child, why? I never crossed my mind that you would give a child back. Like, that's never. But I mean, 1 to 10%, like, that's more than I would have ever imagined. If before this, if you had asked me, I probably would have said 2 max, like, and I'm just being generous. But I mean, if it can go all the way up to 10% in some states or whatever, like, that's
right. That
blows my.
I mean, even when I was listening to podcasts from it's this YouTuber guy, really few followers, but he's really good. He's
I'm gonna have to listen to it.
Like, he was in the foster system himself, and he's an adult now, and he adopted kids now.
Good for him.
And he was saying how this is something that, it's not that it doesn't happen, people just don't know. And Myka is in the spotlight because she's, whatever you want to call her, a celebrity or
influencer,
personality, YouTuber. Yeah. But apparently there was a law passed in Nebraska that would allow you to abandon your child at a hospital with no legal repercussion. And at the beginning, the first day that it was implemented, it didn't have any age limits. So the first night, the emergency room in Nebraska received like 36 kids. Like, and I'm talking teenagers, like 14, like younger than 18, of course. Like, they received 15 years old, 8 years old, because parents just didn't want them, and they returned. And the day after, they had to change the law to like, no, we meant like babies, like 30-day-old babies, because they received full-on teenagers.
That's so sad, because like, and I get teenagers can be a lot, because I mean, I work with some kids, and I can't imagine having to be with them 24/7, but they're your child, like,
yes,
and they're that way because of you. Like, yikes, hate to say it, but take some personal responsibility. Like, how your child, once they're 25-ish, okay, maybe even younger, 21 to 25, okay, how they're acting might not necessarily reflect you. All right, you can take your responsibility. But 20 and younger, no, that's all you, ma'am.
Right, exactly. And like, that is just, because like, it's almost like people forget that they're raising other people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people almost forget that, like, the child that you're raising is somebody that's going to go out into the world and be an adult, and like, your job should be to make sure that that person is a well-adjusted person and is able to feel like they can be a productive member of our society. So like, when you literally are just like having kids or taking kids out of the foster care system and just like shuffling them around, you're not doing anything but causing them dysfunction. And like, that's never okay. Like, my uncle actually is adopted. He was a foster care baby back in like the 80s, and my grandma adopted him, and she's like 80. God, how old is she? I think she's like 87 now. So older. He just turned, right. So back then she had to have been in her like 50s when she adopted him.
Oh, in her 50s? Wow.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like the system back then was like so different, because my grandma, I mean, has always pretty much been like a single woman. So like, she's been a single woman. She was living in New York City at the time and had my mom. And I mean, like, the foster care system back then was like a really weird place where like they would just kind of give kids to like anybody that wanted them. Like, I don't know if it's like that now, but like, and obviously, like, thank goodness it worked out. Like,
yeah.
But like, I can imagine like how many other kids like went to places that, where the people like really weren't equipped to handle them being there, and they ended up just being shuffled around somewhere else or aging out of the foster care system, you know? Like, crazy.
For my podcast, I interviewed a lady who works with a homeless shelter, and I have to re-interview her because I lost that episode. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing to talk about. But one of the things she said is a lot of people that she sees in her homeless shelter, they just aged out of foster care, and it was just kind of like, oh, what do I don't know. I don't have anything else to do. I don't know where else to go. Like, and it's so sad. Like, and we really need some reform and I also think there's people who are out there that like, I know a lady that I was good friends with back in Virginia. She was interested in doing it, and you know, it can be very expensive, like adoption and stuff like that. And there's people who might not be like super rich, but they are good people, hardworking, have room in their house. They just might not be, you know, like millionaires, and it's hard for them. But then there's people who are getting it, like them, who aren't really caring. And what it probably was is, unfortunate, you know, I don't know, but I'm going to make an assumption from what I can see. So I'll say the whole allegedly thing people say on YouTube all the time. I'm assuming they probably went somewhere and said, look at all this stuff we have. Give us what we want. And they're like, oh, yes, you have money. Sure, here, take this child. Whatever you want. You have the money. And it's like, that's not how you pick a parent. There's people who have tons of money that are terrible parents, that are terrible human beings in general. Like,
right.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
Hey, man, like, that, I mean, it's crazy how, like, there are people who have lost all kinds of, like, compassion and, like, self-awareness, that they're not stopping to think about, like, how they're affecting somebody else, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I'm like, you just damaged this child forever. Like,
yeah.
That's, like, it doesn't really even matter how young they are, really, like, unless they're like an infant, I guess. But this, what is he, 2? Like, he's aware.
4.
4?
Yes.
Bro, like, he's very aware of what is going on right now, and like, that child is gonna be
it hurts my heart,
like, from that. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Okay, so next topic, because that was really sad. Like, it's just, I mean, yeah. Hopefully, we really are hoping that they find him and that he's in the best of hands. He has found a family that loves him for who he is and will help him whatever he needs. Okay, so next topic is, so there's an asteroid coming Earth.
Right.
On the 6th. I don't think it's coming directly to Earth. I think it's like passing by or something. But it's just like, y'all are funny. It's just the idea of it like coming so close. It's just like, what else in 2020? Like, this makes tons of sense, you know? Like,
right. Like, at this point, I'm just ready for like aliens to start falling out of the sky. I'm ready, like, siren heads. Have you guys seen the siren head memes?
Yeah.
Didn't the anonymous guy say that Michael Jackson's alive?
Sure, you know what? Why not? Why not?
It makes sense. In 2020, it makes sense.
Right.
Makes sense.
Right. He's alive and kicking it with Marilyn Monroe and Tupac in Cuba right now.
Yeah.
So.
In 2020, yeah, I can see that. 2020. 2021, maybe not. But 2020, 2019, no, that wouldn't have made sense. But now, it definitely makes sense. Of course he is. Like, why isn't he? It's been the craziest year. Like, from, like, it's just, I mean, for me, personally, from the beginning of this year, has just been wild. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to look. Chaotic, maybe, because so you know how I talk. Oh, well, they didn't hear the episode. It'll be a bonus episode, maybe one day. But I talked about how, like, on the whole Bumble thing, my message is like, hey, how's the apocalypse treating you? You know, I think that's so clever. And I'm just like, we're now on level 6 where an asteroid is coming right by us, and we're on where there is chaos in the streets, literally. This has just been the craziest year.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised with anything at this point. Just might as well just do it. Just get it. We're barely halfway. Have that in mind. We're barely halfway. We just started the half.
In March, I was one of those. Wait, say that again?
What's level 12 gonna be?
I don't know.
I don't want to. I have never wanted a year to end so bad my entire life. But like, I say that. You know what this year feels? You know what this year feels like? You know how, like, when you have, like, a genie, well, I guess nobody really has a genie, but, like, it's like one of those things where this genie comes out of the lamp, he's like, you have 3 wishes. And, like, each of the wishes that you gave, you had to have been super specific about how the wish was carried out, or else it messes everything up. That's exactly what this year feels like. I'm on my last wish, and I have no idea what to use it on, because at this point, like, it's just anything can happen because everything's going wrong. Like,
that
oh man.
Description.
Like, oh man, I wish I had like more money to do things. Oh, here's a solution. Let's lock you in your house and you don't have a job anymore, but you get unemployment. So here's your money. That
is a that's a really good description.
Or someone said, I don't want to go to school tomorrow, and be like, well, you don't go to school.
You have to go to school for the rest of the year. How about that?
Yeah.
Surprise. Like,
that was so in March I was like one of those people were like, oh, cancel 2020 is terrible. In March, no, you guys, it's still a good year. We don't even know, like, it'll get better. Yeah. In April, you know what, guys, it's gonna get better. It's just, it's just been 3 terrible months, not 4. In May I was like, okay, God's got us.
Right.
And now I'm like, okay, God, like, I'm like, God, where can you show up, please? It keeps getting worse. I think you're doing something wrong. Like, it's getting worse here.
Right. Like, Lord, I know I'm supposed to trust the process here, and like, I could not understand what it is you're doing up there, but like, you gotta give me a vowel. Can I buy a vowel, please? I have no idea.
He's probably doing what the gods in Hercules are doing. That they're just putting like their pieces and they're moving them, like all the monsters, putting them at once. And someone got drunk up in heaven, and they're like, oh, just put everything together.
No, for real. Like, I don't know what is happening. I feel like he's just in heaven, like, all right, let's try this. Let's see how they act. Oh, let's do this. How about this on top of this? Because I feel like in my personal life too, like not even just like the external, like my own personal life is like low-key in shambles too. And everybody I talk to is like that as well. It's like we have the external and internal, and it's just like, all right, God, like we kind of need a break if you don't mind. Like,
I'm like, bro, like what did I do? Right. Like, what could I have done for me to be like, please, whatever it is, I'll never do it again. Just like,
no, that's been like my legit prayer the past like maybe 2 months. I've been like, God, like I really don't know what I've done, and I apologize.
I've been saying, I'm sorry I stole that pack of gum back in 2005. I'm
like thinking back in my childhood, like I thought I was a good kid. Okay, was I a good kid? All right, did I do, I did yell at that teacher, or like I did yell at my brother that one time. Oh, I did tell my brother, like, I'm over here trying to figure out like what is happening. Like this year has been wild, and then now an asteroid. I mean, it's not really going to hit us, but it's funny to think that once again, like,
don't jinx it.
Do we really know? Do we know? Like,
we don't know. We don't know.
The aliens are probably just getting ready to show up. They're like, okay, let's make sure everything's good.
Right.
Taking turns. Everything's taking turns.
And the U.S. confirmed that there are aliens or something like that. I have to read the thing. I'm going to do a podcast episode about it.
Great. Why not?
We knew that.
Same thing with parallel universes, which is another thing I've been obsessed with lately too.
Oh, yeah. I've always been fascinated by that.
Yeah.
Like, I've always been fascinated by, if I had, like, in some other universe somewhere, like, I am totally not this person right now. Like, in some other universe, I'm like, I don't even know what's going on in, like, politics or anything. I'm just a normal person somewhere else. I'm just a normie who doesn't, who is blissfully unaware of the things happening around her, and she just likes sleeping all day. Like,
Yeah. I think about that too. Like, sometimes things will happen to me and I'm like, you know what? I bet the other Mallory is having a really good time. She made a better decision. I'm happy for her. And it gives me solace. Like, I feel better. Like, you know what? The other Mallory is enjoying this. It's okay. I'm happy for her. I think about that.
I used to think that as a child, and I was like, oh, China's on the opposite of where I am. So my opposite's probably China. I hope she's okay.
Okay,
bro,
so
you better hope she's doing okay right now.
she's alive. I think with the parallel universes, it's like it's still you. You're everything about you, but like you've made different decisions throughout your whole life. So you start new time. I don't know. That's how it is on the flat. No, that's how it is on not Doctor Who.
I thought it was the one that they mentioned in the news that the time goes backward. So instead of starting back like in the year 0 or whatever, they start in the last year of the world and they go backwards.
So time is not infinite.
That's kind of
time is relative. Time is a line. We're here, but there's something going on here that you don't know about because it's the future, but it's going on. So if you were to time travel, you could go to the future right now, and the future is happening right now, but you don't know because you're living in this time.
Yeah.
But the future already happened. It's just in the future.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So in my head, I'm thinking parallel universe and time travel are not the same because in a parallel universe, it's still on the same timeline, but with time travel, it's still you, but parallel universe is like a different version of you. That's what I'm thinking. What are you thinking?
Well, no, what I read was that it's your universe, but the mirror image of it. So, so I don't know, but like it's the opposite. What they explain is that the timeline goes upside down.
I don't know if, paper.
Okay.
Let me see.
So I don't know if humanity, instead of getting better, like more modern, they go backwards and get like to the Stone Age. I don't know.
Hold on, I will draw something.
Okay, you looked at the
talking. Yeah.
Look it up. So what I'm thinking, okay, with that means though, if you can go back in time. All right, so this is where we are today.
Yeah, we're here.
We can go
like the straight line is going right.
Okay.
The straight line is time. Like time as it's going on right now.
Yeah.
And then like that's you or me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we're standing like in like the normal space-time continuum or whatever. But like there's a bunch of things that like we have probably have made different decisions or whatever. Like there's stuff going on. Like there's stuff going on that like we don't know about.
Okay.
I guess, but we just haven't gotten there yet. Like there's like simultaneous like waves of decisions that have gotten us to different places. So I think like the theory that you're still who you are, but like different decision making affects like different points in time, you know, in your life.
Okay.
I think that's what.
Okay. So
I know Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That's why when you time travel and someone like in Doctor Who, if they went to the past and they did something super minor, they would change the rest of the timeline.
Right.
It's going on after going on. So it's not like it would just change where you are. It would change everything else.
So this is what I was thinking. I love this. All right. So this is time. This is us at the beginning. Let me see if I can find a black pen, actually.
I have one.
Did you just say here? Oh, thank you so much. Okay, here we go. This is better. This is like a Sharpie that's almost out. Okay. So this is time.
Yeah.
So this is us, and then this is time. This is what I was thinking. So you're going about life, and then you make a decision, and then you get another timeline. You go about, or like this. Wait. This is a weird looking person, but this person makes two decisions, and then that card starts another timeline, and then there's a person here, and then they make a decision, and then they start another. Like, it's just a bunch of different time. That's how I was thinking of it. And
okay.
I don't think that's the same. We're not talking about the same thing, I don't think.
No. Well, I see it as like, I'm gonna talk like in universe terms, like whatever your life is supposed to be is already like pretty much set in stone.
Right.
You just don't know it, and you don't know how you're gonna get there.
Okay.
But the universe is already gonna take you where you need to go in a way. So you don't know what decisions you're gonna make in the future, but the universe knows what you'll do. So you already your life is already designed, but it's up to you to go through everything.
Right.
And your life is to structure itself in a way that you're supposed to go where you're supposed to go.
Okay.
That's really interesting. I've actually been thinking a lot about that lately. Like, I started like getting into religiosity and stuff a little bit ago. Like, I would say over the past 2 years, I guess, of my life, I've been getting a little bit more into spirituality and religiosity and all that. And that's kind of the same thing in like Christianity, where like Jesus, like God, knows exactly how you're going to end up. You don't know how you're going to get there, but you have to trust the process till you get there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I feel like I'm in a unique position right now where we have things that are going on in the world that require people to like step up to leadership kind of roles. And like, I don't know, like I feel like in some kind of capacity, like in my life, I've always kind of sort of filled that same kind of role. But like at the time that those things were happening, I didn't know how I fit into everything until it just kind of happened. And then, you know, the people
we can't hear you.
No, you hear me now?
You're getting so good and so deep.
The last thing we heard was the people.
So, yeah, so I feel like the people that I meet and the people that come into my life are like coming into my life for a reason, and like I don't know.
What you're saying is beautiful. Some force doesn't want us to hear it. You're bringing some positivity in our.
You're saying something the universe doesn't want us to know.
I know. This is existential. But yeah, pretty much what I feel is that like I feel like people enter your life for a reason, and even though you may not know what their purpose is yet, that it comes. And like I don't know, I just feel like I'm called to do, like I feel more like I'm called to do things. Like I feel like before my life I didn't really have a sense of that, but I feel like now with like things going on, like oh man, like I feel like I'm here in this time, because I could have been born in like 1925, right? Like I could have, like, but there's a reason why I was born.
I know.
It's okay. It's fine. One day we're gonna be in the same. One day I'm gonna have a huge house, and everybody's gonna come, and I'm gonna have a studio in the house, and we'll record things all together, and we will not. This is humble beginnings. Humble beginnings.
Right. I thought that things would be better internet-wise if I moved out of the Midwest, but I guess not. So.
I think this takes up a lot of broadband or whatever that term is.
Bandwidth.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we are on here for hours when we talk. So
Yeah.
But
anyway, so you feel like you're here in the good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like I've been strategically placed in this time for a reason. Like I feel like the reason why I've chosen the career path that I've chosen is also because I'm being called to do something, even though I don't know what the end of that looks like, you know.
Yeah.
So
I believe in the whole, like, everything happens for a reason, and I have to tell myself, even at, like, when I'm anxious, I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. Just gotta, like, take a step back and be like, it's happening for a reason. That you don't, and you can look at it in the spiritual or in the religious way, like, God knows what he's doing. You just gotta go along with it. It's gonna be fine. But, like, I see it, like, it's in history too, like World War II, all the world wars, all these horrible politicians, the great politicians, like, they, like, Hitler came in, and, or you can say World War I came in, and it destroyed the economy in America, but then brought the right minds to the country to make sure they could bring the economy back up. Like, it didn't just let it die. Like, it has its ups and downs, but it happens in, like, such a balance. Like, right now we're we can say, like, in the down, something's gonna happen in the next, and we're gonna be fine. Like, you have to keep reminding yourself, like, you're gonna be fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. Don't mess up, obviously, but everything's gonna be okay at the end. You just gotta trust it.
Yeah, like, that's definitely, like, you know, now we're moving to more of a positive spin on it. That's definitely something I've been feeling too. Like, this time has been beneficial for me. You know, lots of things have happened, and I feel bad for the people who've been, you know, who died, stuff like that. But this has been a pretty decent time for me too. I've been able to, like, slow down and, like, focus on a lot more things that I hadn't really been able to focus on. I feel like I would not have, with the Mal and Val Show, I don't know if this would have come to, like, fruition. I don't know if my podcast, I would be able to put as much time and effort into my podcast or even my jewelry store. And those are things that are very important to me. And, like, some other things career-wise, that some ideas that I've had that I've, like, been able to sit down. I finally have time to slow down. Like, I can sit down and write down some ideas, like, career-wise. And, you're so right about both of you basically said everything happens for a reason. And I do think that, like, especially when you're trying to look for the bright side, like, we do know everything's going to be okay. Like, even though it doesn't feel that way, even though, like, if sometimes it feels, like, so, like, hopeless, like, we do know everything is going to be okay. You just do your part and do your goal. And, like, from the religious standpoint, I always just tell myself, like, at the end of the day, I just want God's best. So if something was taken out of my life, then that God must have thought that wasn't what was best for me. And that's hard to think about, especially when you think of, like, friendships or, like, relationships or even, like, jobs and stuff. But that's just, like, what you have to think of. I just want God's best, and if it's not in my life, that must not have been God's best for me. So I just do keep going forward, doing the things that I know to do, and whatever is God's best is just going to come when I'm doing my work and when I'm, you know, chasing after God, because that's the other aspect. You got to be, you know, trying to chase after God or whatever. Just trusting that, like, it will get better and things will progress forward. And also hoping that everybody else that's also you in different timelines is
doing all right.
Yeah. Right. We pray for our other us's. That's so funny.
I sometimes think, like, I wonder if 40-year-old.
That's funny.
I sometimes think, like, what's 40-year-old Valerie doing right now? Like, is she okay?
Yeah.
I hope she's hydrating her skin. Like, I hope she's taking care of herself.
So I do have a question, though, really quick about the timeline thing. So I kind of wanted to end on the positive note thing because that was sweet, but this is going to bother me if we don't talk about it. Okay. All right, so this is a timeline, and we're on this timeline. So you're saying the timeline is mirrored, right?
The parallel universe. Okay,
so if it's mirrored with another universe, there has to be, for it to mirror, there has to be a beginning, there has to be an end. So that means, so then time is finite.
Oh, well, I don't know if there would be.
There has to be, if it's mirrored, right?
Well, no, it could just be, there's infinite, lines can be infinite. As long as they're parallel, they'll be infinite forever. They'll never meet.
Okay, I guess if it's I guess I see what you're saying, because this is technically an infinite line that I just drew too. So yeah, but there had to be a beginning.
Well,
here and then it goes that way.
If you talk religiously, we know that there was a beginning.
Yeah.
But if you're not talking religiously, if you're talking scientifically,
yeah,
you don't. But even if you're talking religiously, you could think about it like in our universe, in our galaxy. You don't know in other galaxies. So there could be a million timelines. There could be a million of other timelines that you don't know about. Like we could just be like a baby planet that came out of nowhere, and we think we're everything, but we're not.
Well, you know, us humans. Okay, I love this type of conversation. We should talk about this on my podcast one day, on a bonus episode, timelines and stuff.
All right.
Okay, so next question. The next topic, I mean. Really quick, what is your best self-care tip?
I guess in the atmosphere that is currently going on, my best self-care tip is to just unplug for a little bit. No matter what that may be, whether it's like something artistic or streaming movies online or whatever, like it's all right to just like take a step back. Like you don't have to be at the forefront of everything, you know what I mean? So yeah, just like unplug, breathe, go outside, sniff some fresh air, you know. So
yeah, no, right there with you. That's what I was gonna say. So I'll say a different one. And it kind of is the same thing that you're talking about. Mine would be to just really dive into like your passions. So I think that because we're everybody's like take a break, you don't need to be busy all the time, you know. But like I feel like for me, like doing like jewelry making is something that's like really relaxing for me. And like that is me working because, you know, I have the business or whatever, but like making it or you know, I won't even use that as an example. As a side thing, I don't know if people know this, but I like writing stories. Like I've actually written like 2 fantasy novels. Fingers crossed they'll come out soon. And yeah, they're like super like there's fantasy, so it's just like not at all serious. Like all the other things ever in my life is like super serious. These are like not. They're like about anyway. So my whole point is like take some time away from whatever it is that's like in your mind and do those type of activities. Like I love fantasy stuff. Like I love mermaids. Like I'm obsessed with that stuff. So like just take the time to like sit down and like that's so relaxing for me. Like writing like a scene or two of like a mermaid, I don't know, like a mermaid or a fight or something is so like when I'm done, I'm like, whew, all right, let me go back to whatever I have to do. Like just take time to do like things that you're excited and you're passionate about, things that like make you happy, things that are just that will get your mind thinking about things that aren't going on that are stressing you out. Like if it's the exact opposite of that, that's better too. Like if what's stressing you out is, you know, writing your essay for school, then maybe, you know, painting is, I guess, is painting the opposite of writing? I don't know, something. But like my whole point is just like do something else, like that makes you happy, that makes sure it's something that gets you excited, like gets you pumped up. And yeah. All right, Val.
I think mine would be probably similar to the unplugging, but in a way of I guess this is something I learned the older you get, and like you guys probably can relate. Like just surrounding yourself with the right people, even if that means less people.
Yeah.
Like, I think if the older I get, I'm like, yeah, quality is better than quantity. So like the older I get and the more of these problems that come up, I'm like, okay, these are the people that I honestly care about, because maybe we don't think alike, but you know, the friendship's still there, or their friendship's actually worth it, or they think of my friendship as worth it. And as simple as like this person doesn't get the best out of me when I'm with them. I care about them, but they don't get the best out of me. So I'm better off just cutting them off. And it's something that I think at least I learned the more I got older. Because before I would be like, oh, I like them, so I'm just going to hang out with them. Or I wouldn't care about how someone made me felt. Yeah. And now, like, when you think about it, it's like, I don't feel good around this person, I'm not going to be with them. Like, I'm not going to waste my time. And I'm talking friendship level. I'm not even talking, like, relationship level.
Yeah, no, for real.
Like, if a person just doesn't get the best out of you, they're not worth your time.
Exactly.
As rough as that is, like, someone who makes you feel horrible or someone who just gets bad energy out of you, it's not worth it. And it's hard to get to that point because you think you're gonna not have friends. But as soon as you close those doors, like a million other friends.
Exactly. That is so true.
That is so true.
It's like a self-care, because at least like it helps like with your anxiety, and like if you suffer of depression, it might make it better and you don't even know it, because you're just surrounding yourself with the right kind of people.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, for real. I mean, the right kind of people is, oh gosh, it's so important. Like you said, it's something you learn with age. Like I am only interested at this, like I have good friends. And if I'm going to act, like I love people, y'all know that. I can be friends with a rock. That's always like a joke. But like as a close friend, like I am only really concerned if we are, going, like if we can improve each other. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I'm only concerned about that. If we're just, I can like you and we can go to, the burger joint down the street, but like I won't call you a close friend unless we are improving each other, because it's just, there's no point at this time in your life just having all that negativity, having people that are down. There's no point.
And I had to come to this realization too. I mean, and again, like that is a process that you learn as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
So like I used to be friends with people that I met when I was like 18, and we were all going to community college. And now I just turned 25. I'm looking back at the people that I met when I was 18, and they're still doing the same stuff they've been doing. And every time I try and extend myself because I'm a good friend and I care about these people. Like they think that I don't believe in their dream or whatever, and like I'm just trying to I had to take a step back, and I'm like, look, like I'm extending my energy to you guys, and like I'm noticing that like y'all haven't done the same.
I want to laugh.
What's the last thing you heard?
Same energy, I think.
Yes. So, like, people need to keep the same energy. Like, people cannot come to you and be like, oh, share my this, share my that, promote my this, promote my that. But, like, you can't reciprocate that, like, me and my interests. Like, like, I'm done doing that for people. So,
girl, don't get me started on that. Everybody wants you to share and comment on their stuff, but nobody wants to share and comment on yours. Like we can do a whole episode on that. Like, so, I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, you just realizing, I think that's another thing you learn with age, just realizing like friendships change. Like,
yes.
Your love, you could have been like this with somebody, and then now just through time and through interest and through this, that looks weird.
Life.
Through life. You're no longer super close.
And it's okay. And it's okay to outgrow people. Like,
yeah, honestly, if you're still running around with the same people that you've been running around with at like 17, 18 years old, maybe you gotta do some readjustments, bro. Like,
I can count the people that I knew at that age with like one hand.
Yeah, same.
That I care about, and they care about me.
I talked to maybe 3 people from undergrad, maybe, on a regular basis, and that's it. Everybody else, like, we like each other's things here and there, and that's whatever. I talk to 2-ish, 3-ish friends from high school, and that's that's it. Like, and the reason why I'm still friends with those 6 select is because, like, all of us we have goals and dreams and ambitions, and like we want to work to be like, they're not people who, because, you know, I knew people who were like not really doing anything and like kind of just going by in life, and like that doesn't work for me. Like, I've had friends, I'll never forget this. I don't know if I've talked about this on here before, but like, I had this friend, and I knew, like, we were only friends because of proximity. At the end of the day, I was friends with her boyfriend, and it was like a group of guys, and I was friends with the boyfriend, and she started hanging out with us, which I was happy, because like, I was like, oh, finally another girl. And she made a comment about she said that she was always going to be, she worked for this thing and she was going to be an assistant. She always wanted to be an assistant, because I was like, oh, then you're going to get the license so you can become the like head. She's like, oh no, I like being an assistant. I don't mind being an assistant. And you know what? That's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you want. But like, for me, that's just not my personality. That's not what I want. So like, things like that, like, I just knew that like we just were never going to be, yeah, we were never going to be BFFs. Like, cordial, of course. Hanging out, yeah. Want to go to the movies, of course. But like, I can't imagine, like, honestly, I can't imagine like having a conversation with her, telling her my goals for the podcast, because that's just not how her brain works. That's just not what she wants to do. And you have to go into, at our age, I feel like you have to go into these friendships and relationships realizing that, and like, when you meet someone like that, they're not bad people. There's nothing wrong with them. You can still go to the movies with them, but you just have to realize like your level of intimacy, in a not a sexual way, but like your level of intimacy is just going to be different. Like, if I can't really share with you like some dreams and goals I have, then like it's going to be hard for me to be super close with you, because that's just it's just human nature.
Right, exactly. Like, I think it's important to be friends with people who are goal oriented too, like who have like an endpoint that they're trying to get to. And I feel too often like millennials get caught up in like
proximity
deadlines for like proximity, and then like they look at deadlines and like they think that they have to like go into corporate America or whatever they're making it. I'm like, that's not necessarily it. Like, you can still do what it is that you're interested in, but you have to understand, live in the grounded reality of what it is you're trying to do. Like, you're not just gonna blow up from sharing stuff on Instagram.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So
Right. You're 100% right. This will be a good time. I'm starting a book club. You guys should join if you can. We're reading The Defining Decade, right here. The Defining Decade, why your 20s matter and how to make the most of them now. It's actually like super, super good. And it talks a little bit about that, like deadlines and like trying to, because as millennials, like you said, we have deadlines and like trying to like do all these things, and sometimes we make unrealistic goals, like, you know, be ambitious, but, you know, be a little bit realistic with your life and with your time. But yeah, no, you're so right. Like, we definitely struggle with the realism, because I think it's so easy to see people who go viral. So it's like, oh, they can do it, I can do it. And it's not that you can't, it's just, you know, you might not do it at all, or you might not do it as quickly as Mary Sue. Because like, that's one thing I learned trying to grow like these Instagram accounts and everything. The biggest thing I learned is literally, if it's your time, it's your time. Like, there's no, I see people
special algorithm, hashtags, nothing. Like,
nothing you can do. If it's your time, it's your time. I've seen people with better content with like 200 followers than people who have like 15,000 followers. Like, I've seen still put out good content if you're into that, but like, it literally, if it's your time, it's your time. Like, if it works for you, it works for you, but if it doesn't, then it doesn't. Like, it's really not really up to you.
I've seen posts about the just explain the whole, like, don't compare yourself to others, and it's like, you're all different plants, you're all gonna bloom at a different point.
Ooh, I like that.
Right, like, you're gonna get to your best, but you're not gonna get at the best as the other person. Like, one person can, you know, have it's peak at 21, and you can have it at 31. Like, you can go back to all those people that they always talk about, like, what's his name? Like Elon Musk, like at what age did he peak? Or Walt Disney, at what age did he peak? And all the actors, Morgan Freeman, he started to be in like a successful actor like at 50 or 60, I don't know.
Right.
But
makes sense. He's been old enough.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So next is the questions portion, and we'll just do one. You guys tell me which one. I'll read both of them, and you guys tell me which one we should do. Oh, I think I know which one I'll do. Okay. First one is, have you guys ever had thoughts before about a competition on a woman you like? Has also another guy tried to pursue her? I guess this guy is saying, like, what are your thoughts on, like, if two guys like a girl, like, how he should win? And then the second one is, my BF feels inferior to me. What should I do? I personally like that one.
The second one, yeah, I think I'm more equipped to answer the second one.
I mean, the first one, I think it has a pretty easy answer. Like, you don't even, like, two guys against a girl, like, what is this, the 1700s? It's like, it depends who the girl likes. Tell me who the girl likes, and that's who's gonna win.
Shekinah, I think you're talking, but we can't hear you. If you're talking.
Okay. I don't think, like, with the first question, I don't think there's any such thing as, like, a competition between you two. Like, whoever that girl likes is who she's gonna gravitate towards. Like, I don't think there's much about that, bro. Like, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's right, or she could not like either of you guys. So, like, that's...
Well, all right. We can answer... Well, we answered one, so let's go to two now. Okay, so... Yeah. Okay, I want to talk first about this. I think it's, like, kind of funny if he feels inferior to you. So, personally, I'll just talk about myself. I see myself as an amazing person. I see myself as pretty successful, and, you know, I think I'm pretty great. So because I have that level of confidence in that aspect, you know, other aspects I'm working on, but in that aspect, because I have that level of confidence, I need someone who is, like, just as confident as me. Like, I need someone who's going to match my energy. I know people who, like, I have friends whose, like, boyfriends won't argue back with them and stuff like that, and I don't like that. Like, I need you to argue back. Like, if you don't agree with me, I need you to speak up. So, like, if I had someone that felt inferior to me, I don't want to say just break up, because, like, I feel like that's, like, such a, like, a bitter thing to say, like, drop him, girl. I don't want to say that, but, like, that's the first thing that popped in my head. Like, just find someone who wasn't inferior to you. Because, like, here's my other thing, too. Like, a lot of times when people feel that way, like, and I'm not trying to be mean and, you know, not trying to come at anybody's neck, but, like, if he's feeling that way, it could be because he is.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You're absolutely correct.
Oh, boyfriend, girlfriend, like, relationship.
Oh, I heard best friend, so I was confused.
Oh, BF. They said BF, but I'm assuming boyfriend. We'll just say boyfriend.
No, yeah, it's probably boyfriend. Okay.
You are absolutely correct, Mallory, when you say that, because the first and only relationship that I've ever been in was kind of like a dynamic like that, where, like, I met him when I was in community college, and I kept doing internships and things, and it was time for me to graduate from college, and he was still, like, working these dead-end jobs, and he was very artsy, like, very into, he was a dancer, like, but not even professionally, okay, so, like, not even professionally, just, like, I'm gonna go hang out with my boys in a basement and upload videos onto Instagram, like, that kind of thing. Which, looking back, I can't even believe that I was with somebody like that. Like,
we all have guys like that.
But I was the kind of the girlfriend where I was like, okay, like, I'll help you, like, support your dream or whatever. But, like, realistically, like, it was never gonna work out, because I kept on, like, doing this, and he kept on, like, doing this. So, like, eventually it got to a point where I had gotten late to college for my last semester, and he had just met somebody else at his job. So, like, that was at his same level.
Yeah.
And so I feel like eventually that's not going to work out. And if they feel as though they're inferior and they're not willing to like put in the work, then you have to break up. That's not going to be good. Like, you got to break up.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like in man's nature. They don't like feeling.
Right.
Unless they're a beta man, but that's another story.
We don't like those here.
We don't, right. Not
like,
allowed.
So, like, in general, I think the man wants to feel not as higher than the woman, but like he wants to be able to know that he can provide for her.
Yeah.
And some women are too, let's say, they're too alpha, which I don't think it's bad, but they're too alpha to the point, or too independent to the point that they don't need that. And the man, when they see like, oh, she doesn't need that, then she doesn't need me. Like, to that point. So I agree with you. I don't think something like that will eventually work out, because even if you're an independent woman and all this, and you are confident in all this, like, if you love a guy, you're gonna let him open the door for you. You're gonna let him do things for you, not for you, but at the end, because you know it makes him feel better. You're gonna let him open a jar. You're gonna let him fix the car, even though you know you can fix it, but you're gonna let him, because it's just. But at the end, dating someone who feels inferior to you, it's not gonna.
Right. Like, that's
not gonna. It's not even gonna sit well with you, because you're gonna be like. At least as a woman, I wouldn't feel good about it.
Yeah, because like, what do you expect me to do? Like, stop what I'm doing to make like that's a you issue, bro. Like that's a you issue, man. Like, I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing because you're insecure.
Right.
You know what you walked yourself into. If you're walking into a relationship with someone you think is better and you're gonna be insecure about it, like.
Right.
You're not going to make yourself feel better by dating that person. So go find yourself someone insecure too. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like, I just think that, like, so from the way I took it like he really was inferior. And she just, like, you know, I'm just going to use an example. No shade to people who do. But let's say he works at Burger King and she is an intern at a PR company, and so, you know, so like that's how I took it. So I'm like, at the end of the day, like, girl, like, just find, you know, date the boss, like, date the CEO of the PR company, you know, like that's how I'm thinking.
Literally, yes.
And like, you know, I'm pretty traditional, so like I would want a man that was. I'm traditional, and also my personality just needs someone who is going to be like a little bit. I don't want to say superior because that sounds weird, but like, who's gonna be have some oomph to him. And if I heard a guy,
you just want someone who wears the pants too, like, you want to wear all of the pants. Like, here, take a leg.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind if he wore all of the pants, but here's the thing: I am so like, and you know, I'm gonna sound so cocky. I'm not trying to be, because I mean, you can look at my room and it'll humble me real quick. But like, and I'm not trying to sound so cocky. Just I'm that. But like, I feel like I'm so like, you know, I have podcasts and the jewelry store, and like, these aren't, you know, you don't see my name like on the news all the time or anything. But like, I have a lot of potential, and like, I feel like I am so like, I don't, you know, I feel like I'm just at a certain level that like.
Girl, just say it. You're successful and you want someone who's or more successul than you.
Right,
like, that's
exactly.
What you ask for.
Right, exactly.
I think like, the same way when I think of the guy who I'm going to marry. Like, I'm working my ass off on a master's, and I will continue on a PhD. I wouldn't mind marrying someone with a PhD either. It would be pretty nice.
Yeah, okay. I don't want. I'm not trying to sound so cocky. Like, I don't want to sound.
No, because it's not being cocky. It's just having standards. Like,
exactly.
Right.
You have standards.
Yeah,
and you're lucky because not all girls have that.
That's true. That's true. Like, I want someone of my level or higher, because like
fun.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
My laptop has 6 minutes left on it, so I'm gonna run and grab my charger. I know I should have done this before we like record. I thought I had enough energy over here.
Okay.
But continue to talk.
Okay. This is our last question though, just so Well, I don't know. Get the charger.
Get the charger. No, but
that was like she disappeared like in a movie.
No, but like Mallory, I agree 100% with you. Like I kind of see why you don't want to say it, but like
now that you're saying it, you get it.
If I'm here, I want to date someone who's either here or here.
Yeah.
Like I don't want you here, but I want you to at least, be.
Right.
I think that's just. I mean, some people are gonna be like, oh, so if they don't have this, you're not gonna date them. I'm like, I don't know, but it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, and the other thing too is I don't want to come off as like super like, yeah, I'm as independent. I don't need no man because I want a man. I'm not gonna sit here, as they say, I'm not gonna hold you. I want a man, like, I'm trying to be wifed.
You want one, but you don't need one.
Exactly. Right. Yes, and I feel like a lot of times when women are successful, people just automatically assume, like, one of my friends, and I know she was trying to be nice, but I was like, you're missing my point. I was talking about, like, my breakup and everything, and she was like, well, at least you can focus on your career, and I was like, I wanted a family?
Yes.
And she was like, yeah, you're so career focused. I'm like, I'm career focused because I don't have a family. Like, I need to provide for myself. So that's why I'm career focused. And I feel like sometimes when women are successful, people just automatically assume, oh yeah,
that's all they want.
Right, right. And that's not the case. I would like a family one day. Yeah.
I get it. Am I the only cousin that's single? No, I'm not. But I'm one of the oldest cousins, and the other cousin's already married and with a kid. So they're looking at me, and they're just like, oh, "Where's your boyfriend? Your boyfriend?" And I'm like, "My boyfriend's my master's right now. Like, I really don't have anything else in mind. And if it happens, it happens. But I already told my family, like, I'll be the one getting married like at 30, and I'm okay with that."
Right. Like I'm constantly battling with like, oh, the right guy is going to come, but then I'm also called, like, am I missing opportunities? Am I, like, stupid? Should I go after the guys that, like, actually express that they have an interest in me, or, like, it's just, I'm constantly battling between those two things.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get married so bad, and, like, I feel like everybody around me is getting
so
married.
Badly. Like, my baby fever is, like, here.
My baby fever is awful. I mean, I see a baby and I want to cry. They're just so cute sometimes. Like, my baby fever is so bad right now. And one of my
I've seen like friends of babies, and I'm like, I want to make a TikTok, but I don't have a baby.
For real. No, seriously. And I think like, and then also too, someone told me this once again, trying to be nice. And I guess it was nice, but they made a comment. They were just like, yeah, the thing is, like, women like us we're very successful. We can be like intimidating. And I mean, I will say this though, if you're intimidated by me, then I probably wouldn't be attracted to you anyway. Cause like, I don't find that attractive.
True. Yes.
But that also didn't make me feel any better. Cause I'm like, okay, so, but where are the non-intimidated? Are they over there? Like,
they're busy.
What's the number?
You know how many times I've been told that I'm intimidating? I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
I don't think I am. Like,
I don't think
I'm intimidating.
Like,
I don't think any of us are
guys that tell me that, and I'm like, you're too intimidating. I'm like, what? I'm 5'4". Like, what am I gonna do to you? Like,
that's the other thing too. Like, any of us are not intimidated. I don't think we're intimidated, and we're feminine. Like, it's not like we're like giving off these like I hate men vibes. Like, we're definitely like, I don't know,
just not of anyone. That's the difference.
Right. And I do and this I guess goes back to the whole like everything is in God's timing, and like really want what God wants for us. So it'll happen when it happens. Clearly, obviously, we would probably all prefer, sooner rather than later. Especially because we don't know what's happening with this whole apocalypse we're in the middle of.
With this whole asteroid,
alien. Your future husband could be like dating someone right now. that it's just not right for them, and they're gonna realize it, and they're gonna find you, and they're gonna be like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Right. I've thought that. I've seen those posts where it's like, my future husband is probably laughing at some girl right now. Don't worry, I'm coming. Something like that. Like.
Well, I've seen that one. It's like, I'll show you who the real clown is.
Yeah. That's what it was. Another one was when I was an undergrad. I feel like I don't say this much anymore, but like every time during finals, it'd be like, you got this, future babe. Our future depends on you. You can do these. You can pass these finals, something like that. I'm like, that's so funny. Seriously, future husband, please pass your finals. Like,
please.
But yeah,
I'm waiting. I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here.
Yeah, no, for real. And like, also too, I'm just in a season, as people say, of just like, I'm gonna work on me. I'm gonna focus on my stuff. And if during this time something happens, then I guess it happens. But like, I don't even really want to like think too much about. I just kind of want to like focus on me, focus on some stuff that I got going on. So we can always improve. But yeah. All right. I guess that's it. Thank you so much. This was a really good episode. Thanks everybody for listening to the Mal and Val Show. We're just two funny girls with our special guest Shekinah. So 3 funny girls. Well, 3. I did 2. 3 funny girls today that just like to talk and say funny stuff. So thanks for listening, and make sure that you subscribe to Life is Mal Pal on the YouTube channel. And yeah, I guess that's it. Have a good rest of whatever it is and whatever time you're watching. Bye.
Bye.